Support.
The maestro, please!
Last record rundown before Christmas, so if you haven't finished your shopping, here are some suggestions. This'll be for the week of
December 17th, 2019.
On this day in music in 1957, Elvis Presley received his official draft letter to join the U.S. Army for his national service. If you're a fan of the Hitman series of video games, you probably know what that rubber duck is. You should probably also know who Jesper is, the composer who did all of the music to the Hitman series of video games. I Am 8-Bit has released an exclusive 4-disc vinyl set, remastering various tracks throughout the entire history of the Hitman series of video games.
Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
If you're going to the city, you better have some cash. If you're going to the city, you better have some.
Mose Allison was a famous jazz and blues pianist, passing away in 2016 at the age of 89. Regardless, this is obviously a tribute album to him and his works. Artists on here include Taj Mahal, Fiona Apple, and even Iggy Pop. Smooth jazz and holiday music, that's a combination that's done very frequently this time of year.
Singing,
I love rock and roll!
Down in Guantanamo, we still got the ball chain.
Their first album of new material in 13 years. I'd never thought I'd be reviewing a Who album, aptly named Who. Regardless, on the deluxe edition, there are some very, very, very deep Who cuts. So if you're a fan of The Who or just Pete Townsend, I highly recommend getting this.
It's bigger than hip-hop, hip-hop.
Running on that thing, man, young nigga, eyes on the more pain, what we gon' do? Can barely get control. Catch the vibe and me, get the feeling me.
His fourth and final studio album, and his second to be released after his death last year. Some big name features on here: Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and Blink-182, and the song Heart Eater was originally supposed to be on his album Question Mark, but was held back, so if you wanted to hear that, this is gonna be your only chance.
You don't wanna start with me. Got some hood niggas posted in the Jordan. I have his nigga on back of a carton. Spin Larry Bird, 33 on Cartier. I got 33 bitches with me. I'ma flow through the city.
After his two Feed the Streets mixtapes, we finally have Rowdy Riches' debut studio album. Some features with Gunna, some features with A Boogie with the Hoodie, and even some other collaborations from Ty Dolla $ign, Meek Mill, and DJ Mustard. Look what finally got released. We talked about this originally when they released Call You Mine, and the first 4 tracks were released off an EP of World War Joy. Regardless, now you have the whole thing, given all 10 songs off of this album have been released as singles. So if you're not sick of this yet, now you can get the whole thing.
And now I need some help from the maestro, please!
Running on that thing, man, young nigga, eyes on the more pain, what we gon' do? Can barely get control. Catch the vibe and me, get the feeling me.
Fun fact, Bad Vibes Forever was originally intended to be the name of his debut studio album, as was announced back in 2016. Obviously, 17 ended up being the debut studio album. He then announced that Question Mark, Skins, and Bad Vibes Forever would be his next 3 albums, so this was all in the works long before he passed.
Yeah, Hollywood is bleeding, but we call it home. Outside the winter.
Let's see if this stays up here going into the new year.
oh no, there you go, making me a liar. Got me begging you for more, oh no, there I go, starting up a fire, oh no, no.
Camila Cabello's second studio album. She has come quite a way since she left Fifth Harmony in a relatively short amount of time. A good thing to note about this album is that her collaboration with DaBaby, My Oh My, is exclusively on the digital version of this album. So if you are interested in that song specifically, you're going to want the digital version.
Down in Guantanamo, we still got the ball chain.
If you like the cover art for this album, it was done by Peter Blake, most notable for doing the cover art for the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Club Hearts Band as well.
You don't wanna start with me. Got some hood niggas posted in a Jordan. I have his nigga on back of a carton. Spin Larry Bird, 33 on Cartier. I got 33 bitches with me. I'ma flow through the city.
I've said this before, as this is not the first time this has happened, but it must be really good as a rapper to have your debut studio album go to #1. Hopefully at least one of these sparked some sort of Christmas gift idea from one of you out there, and if not, well, you just have some music to enjoy before the holidays.
And now I need some help on the maestro, please. Maestro.